Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another recording of the Talos Principle DLC, The Road to Gehenna. Let's continue. So we did a little bit of work on this puzzle, Goliath. And I'm a little bit split whether I just want to try and cheat this puzzle first, or if it is better done a different way. I'm getting better at doing this because I can. So far, I've done this what I can only assume is the right way. Like, I seriously doubt there's any other way to get these elements out of here than something like what I just did. But I can get all the way up here. I can make a running jump with the brick, with the cubes. Maybe I could get a little bit further in general, or I can try and solve this. There's definitely some weirdness going on though. Let's see, start with this jammer, and I don't believe jammers can ever be wrong. Like, they've got them programmed in a very specific way so that they will just connect. Like, so that's why you don't really see a line as much as you just see a wave there. I think that's good. And see, this one will just bounce on that one. Not that that really matters. Meanwhile, this one I need to target in a way when he's way over there to get him out of the way. There we go. So this is kind of where the solution starts for the puzzles. But I don't know what you do after that point. Like, am I really supposed to jump past this? Probably not. Is this in any way going to connect to more things? Probably not. So the question really comes down to, yeah, I am totally blocking the jammer right now and it's not doing anything. It really comes down to, how in the world could I possibly get a brick or something to stop this guy from going the long direction? Or maybe I don't. Maybe what I do instead is just let it happen and try to time things as best as I can. So I'm just gonna wait here and see what happens. If this fills up all the way, yeah, it's just like a brief second, and that's it. Meanwhile, this doesn't do anything. I can hit that one, and then that's like maybe opening the wall? But again, how does any of this help? Like, color me very, very confused. I think that just turns off a wall down that direction. Okay. So. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to do this legitimately at the moment. And then I'll think about doing it illegitimately later, possibly. Okay. So. This piece doesn't seem like it connects to other pieces. And this will get this far, but there's kind of no way we'd get any further. And all the puzzles that I have trouble with seem to kind of have the same idea. It's doing a lot of craziness with the connectors and the lighting and all of that, and I don't know if I buy that that's really what I'm supposed to be doing. So let's just cheat it. Like, this seems so complicated and so convoluted that I don't see how you do it. Could I get to this point over here? Possibly. And if I could get to this point over there, that'd give me a second jammer. Let's see if we can do this. Do I have any cubes over here? Where am I putting them? Where did I put the cubes? Put a cube over here. There's another cube. So, what I'm thinking is this, and this one, and take the jammer with me. And from this point, jump here, and jump here, and yeah. And remember, you kind of had to do that to get to this point. So, now that I have 2 jammers, I'm safe, because I can do more things. I can, let's see, let's go ahead and double jam over here. Like, now I have all these connectors all of a sudden in an area that doesn't really matter. Like, there's no gold star. There was a gold star over there, I already got that. Okay, so we take this back. We double jam over here. We take this, we jam over here. We take this, and we double jam over here. And we've got this and this. So, again, I'm not sure how that really helps much. We've just got a bunch of things that may really just be used for weights. If we even need that much. Let's see. Let's just see if we can actually just double jam our way all the way to the end of the puzzle. Yeah, usually if you have the 2 jammers, it's just game over. There's nothing else needed. Unless they can figure out a really, really tricky way for the puzzle to work. Yeah. So, yeah, there's this huge puzzle here. I'm not sure that there actually is a solution. Honestly, like, really not sure. But maybe there is. Maybe there's more to this than seems. Because I can't jam this one part. So now I have to get a red back. Let's see. So that much is where we are. But we do need to manipulate these connectors a little bit. Unless I want to try and jump over the fence again. And there's a pretty big wall blocking things here. It gives me the implication that that's probably not what they need. If I hit that one and that one. Seems like there's more to this puzzle though. Unfortunately, I need to get these guys out of the way. And I can't just jam them. Like they need to be gone completely. So they need to be flying upward. I guess it doesn't matter though. I guess I can double jam my way over here to get these here. Alright. So we'll just attach that fan. And we'll attach this fan. Okay. See, that one's stuck in the ground. Yeah, there's no jumping over this wall. So we're done with that much. Okay. So what we will want to do, I think, is we'll eventually get these flying up in the air. And because they'll be flying in the air, we'll need some kind of trick in the system we'll need to jam them to get rid of them. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take this connector and put it here. I'm just trying to keep everything nice and tidy. Alright. Okay. Take one of these cubes. There actually might be a way that I could sneak all the way to the edge. I think if you hugged the wall and had two sides here jammed, you probably wouldn't get seen by the laser sight. But it's kind of risky to do that. And so if I jammed this and this and then walked over to the edge and tried to put a box on it, yeah, maybe it would work, maybe it wouldn't. But meanwhile, I'm just gonna try and see if we can do... No, if I do up and over, that won't work. But what I might be able to do is just around. I mean, how close? Maybe. Or maybe I don't really need to do anything particularly at all. Like, yeah, Alright, let's see. The question would be about the jam. Just how often I need to jam. Where are the other connectors? I swear I had more than this. 2 jammers and 1 here and 1 here and 1 here. Yeah, that just feels like that's gonna need more height. Otherwise it would have to get basically to this point. And even at that point, I think it would be a problem. Alright, well, we have a solution for this. So we're gonna potentially break the system quite a bit here. But if this goes wrong, then I'll end up potentially losing a box and a connector. So we'll have to be kind of careful here. Let's just put that down. Go ahead and so we've got to walk downward so we can grab the box. Come up here. Put that there. Grab this. Jump up this way. And then jump up here. And then jump up here. Put that down. Grab the box. Jump up here. Oh no. That's exactly what could have happened. Okay. You can't stand on these things even though they won't hurt you. So we're a box short and we're rather late. So let's experiment with the double jammer idea on this, since that's a pretty dangerous concept. Just gonna hit both of those, take this box, and I'm going to sneak over here, and it works. Now, remember, I can't use any more jammers. I don't have any. There we go. Also, I guess we jump this way and just jump that way. So yeah, that's one way to solve a problem, I guess. Now I'm at 0 boxes. And I have 1 connector and 2 jammers. Is there a specific point where I might be able to do this? If I had succeeded, I would have put the connector up there and grabbed the box and brought it back down. Putting a connector up there theoretically would have let it come from the higher side, and thus would have been a lot easier to do and use less connectors potentially. Although I don't know if it really would have mattered, because I would have used this one connector less. Alright. So... like, yeah, that doesn't work either. And over here, we just need the laser beam to get to that point. And I basically don't even need any connectors. I just need these two out of the way. And I got the fans to that point. And if I just reset, I'm gonna have to start over from scratch. Is there seriously no way I can hit that connector and no, all the walls, every angle, it's just everything is blocked. How about here? I mean, that's kind of something. Something to try at least. We'll see if perhaps. Okay. So if I could get this blue light from this point to over there, which might be possible. I don't think so. I think it's time to reset. This one is called Goliath, I think for a reason, and we shall see how much of a Goliath it really is. Okay. Just put that thing in there. It's just easier to jump over a couple times. So the hardest part of this starts with this. And so if I don't get this part done right, I might as well not do anything else. And I have to remember to turn on the run every time. if I can get this connector on top where I want it to be, then I'll come back and do the rest of the work later. Alright. Let's take this and this and this and see if maybe I can even place this up, because that would be helpful by quite a bit. Nope. Okay, so I've got to kind of squeeze both the connector and the cube. And myself. And not kill myself. And not lose the cube. Right. So we want this, that one, and that one. And we kind of just need to figure out what's blocking what. That's odd. There's a fence blocking this side, and to get beyond that fence, I think I would have to be still fence blocking that side, so we're gonna have to get more height potentially. Right, well, right, take this up. As long as we don't lose our cube, we're fine. Could also try to hit some of these other ones if I want to. Alright. Let's just see if we can lock on any other targets. No, but it doesn't matter. We're good. Take our cube back down, and that should be the end of us needing to mess with anything on that side. So now, unless there's something I've missed here, I think we can just get our double jammer by, how did we do it last time? We jumped over into this. Yeah, that's what we did. We created a wall to jump on in the middle. We took our jammer. We stood on this edge until we got some footprints. Then we stood on this edge until we got footprints. Got this other jammer and jammed that now. Take that. Double jam this, grab this because it's not even needed probably, and grab this. Okay. Meanwhile, we can just double jam our way back this direction for the fans. Okay, that looks like that's perfect. It would block any signal from lower, but it's not blocking the signal from above at all. Perfect. Almost as if this is the one true solution. And it might be. Sure doesn't feel like it. Sure feels like we're cheating at everything. through, but I don't know. Maybe that really is how you're supposed to solve this puzzle. We are in the 4th of 5 sections, and if this is the real solution, I would kind of expect these kind of puzzles to be in the last section. But yeah, maybe there's just a whole system into that also. And if I wanted anything, I could probably do it. Like, let's say I wanted to connect to this, and well, no, I could not reach that, but I can do this at least. Where'd I put the other jammer? Here it is. Jam? Right, no, that one's still a problem. So I can double jam my way to this point, but I need 2 more things to make it through. We've got plenty of things, certainly. Cube. Here. Actually, I could just put a jammer here if necessary. Can I put a jammer that would hit that fence, though? Not really. So this blue light, I feel like I need that powered somehow. And oh, I forgot to get this other connector. That would have been helpful. Okay. Seriously. Need to be more careful with this stuff. Trying to move fast, and that's not gonna work. Yeah, I just needed to grab this. Interesting window. Yeah. Any attempts to move fast are gonna be thwarted by... So select that. Is there an angle where I could get this down? Sure. But I don't know if I have enough connectors. Select this one, come back here and select that. Do I have any more cubes? Maybe not, but I may have enough jammers now. Alright, so take this off, stand on this one, jam this one. Gotta just make sure. There we go. So we had 1, maybe 2 extra cubes in that. Another person freed. And who is this? Spider. Spider has been the one that they shadow banned. But it does seem like the mods of the Gehenna forum really can't do anything else other than shadow banning people on the forum. So here we have another mod discussion, the asset. Seems like I'm missing some of these mod discussions too. We have blah blah blah. So that thought the blah 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 did not the truth perfection lies blah 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 deliberated, but in what man is, so that's just corrupted. Alright, farewell Atlantis. Lil says the end of Gehenna is getting close, you know that what we built here matters to me in many ways. Blah blah blah. Just pause now if you want to read all of this. It's too late for you to praise or feedback or discussion, so I'm locking this thread. But if you want to talk, just talk. Then let's talk while we still can. Attached farewell Atlantis. Is this another game? Another game. Special thanks to Mr. Mulcyber. Choose your class. Poet, magician, farmer, physician, scientist. I think Uriel is a physician. You're in the great hell of the Temple of the Serpents, the greatest hospitals in all of Atlantis, tending to the sick and the injured. A general artificial waterfall mill murmurs soothingly nearby. An old man gestures for you to come close. Perhaps he requires your age. You approach. As you approach, you see the old man is quite pale. Hear me, physician, my death approaches. Will you sit with me? Sit with the man. Offer him sleep snake poison. You sit with the man for a time. He tells you some stories about his life. He was a sailor, and on the ship of painted sails, he explored all enough time to start a family, and now he is alone. But he never found enough time to start a family, and then he's alone. Suddenly his breath begins to stop, then suddenly his eyes widen and he stares at you. I see a city, he says, and dies. Say a prayer, close your eyes. You can say a prayer. As you get up and approach the bed, but a voice interrupts you. Excuse me, old physician, but the king of Atlantis has requested your presence. Talk to the messenger. The messenger is indeed the sovereign of Poseidonus, the king of Atlantis. You have been summoned to the court, he says. His manner is friendly, very well. It is the king after all. Ask what is this all about. Might as well ask. I'm sorry, but I cannot tell you. Let me reassure you, however, that you're not to be punished or anything of the sort. King Poseidon merely wishes to hear your wisdom as regards an important matter. We should not tarry. Follow the messenger. The messenger takes you on his chariot, and together you swiftly ride to the great palace in the center of the capital. It is a splendid place, full of statues, banners, and marvelous contraptions, but you can't help but wonder what you're doing here. While your work is valuable in its way, you do not usually attract the attention of kings. Enter the throne room. You enter the throne room and are immediately overwhelmed by its size and splendor. Its most impressive feature is a great mosaic on the wall behind the throne, showing the history of Atlantis, 1,000 years of culture somehow embodied in a single titanic work of art. Examine the mosaic. The sheer amount of this work this must have taken. Every stone carefully selected for shape and color, placed perfectly to complete the others. So many small elements working together to evoke a larger whole. What an accomplishment. And what dedication it must have taken. Welcome, friends. The king of Atlantis greets you. Bow before the king. Good idea. No, do not bow, my friend. If anything, it is I who should bow to you. For you heal men, whereas I but command them. Yours is a greater wisdom, and that is why I've called you here. He hands you a scroll. Read the scroll. You read the scroll with growing horror because you know what you're reading is true. The analysis is logical, and you've felt the effects of what you've described. Many patients come to you with injuries caused by small earthquakes. Atlantis is sinking. Not someday, not in the far future, but soon, terribly soon. Confirm the truth. The king sighs. I was afraid of this, but he says, but I had hoped we were wrong. That somehow, but it is pointless. What is. This is the world we were born into, and this is what we must accept. The end of Atlantis is upon us. Ask what can be done, say there is no hope, curse the gods. Tell me, what is the heart of Atlantis? The king inquires. Choose art, choose people, choose knowledge. Choose the people, for they shall carry the art and knowledge inside them. I mean, it's not even a fair comparison at all. Like, just keeping people alive will give them more opportunity to create more art and more knowledge. The people. The heart of Atlantis is its people. The arts and sciences exist only to serve the people. Poseidon nods. Then it is they who must be saved, and you will help save them. How? There's not much time. The sages discovered our fate only this morning, and they are certain the final earthquake is nearly at hand. If there had been more time. He stares out the window wistfully for a few moments and gathers himself. There is no time for what-ifs, I'm afraid. Here, take this, the king's golden scepter. The sailors will obey you. Why me? Might as well ask. Why you? Why not you? Why a king? And not any other citizen? As I said before, you possess more wisdom than I, who was made king only because of my birth. Yes, my lord. I wonder if this is going to be close to the end here. This feels like this is a single path experience. Poseidon laughs. I'm not a lord, my friend. I do not believe I am even a king. I am simply another mortal trying to find meaning in an indifferent cosmos. My final act, perhaps the only true choice I ever made, was to select you for this task. My time is over. You must go now. Head for the harbor. Escorted by the same messenger who brought you, you head for the harbor. Take the chariot to get there quickly. Walk to see the city one last time. Let's walk to see the city. You decide to walk back the streets that led to the harbor. It's not the fastest route, but it's a chance to see the city one last time. You still can't entirely believe that any of this is happening, but some part of you needs this. The streets are dark, but the darkness is interrupted by laughter and light spilling from taverns and homes. The people of Atlantis love to spend their nights with joy. Some are playing music, others are playing games. There's food and drink and lovemaking and storytelling under the stars. The earth rumbles, but no one pays attention. Small earthquakes are common here. Hurrying as much as possible. You and the messenger arrive in the harbor. 12 great ships are waiting. Their captains see the golden scepter you carry kneel before you. They have tears in their eyes, but you sense their determination. Speak to the captains or load the ships. Let's load the ships first. You want to save the people of Atlantis because people are what matter. You're certain of that. But who gets to live? Whomever is closest is the smart move. You have to be practical. The island could sink anytime. You tell the sailors to just get anyone in the vicinity of the harbor. This causes some chaos as some of them try to make sure their families get on the ships. But you don't see another way. The ships fill up with Atlantean citizens. The ground shakes more and more. Get ready to set sail. The ships are ready, the messenger says. It's time for you to set sail. You're not coming, you ask, surprised. I never expected to. There is not enough space on the ships. Stay behind so he can go. Sure, why not? This is clearly just a obvious allegory for what's happening in the game, which a good question to ask here certainly would be, are any of these AI programs actually that creative? I mean, it's probably pretty surprising that they even are getting as creative as they are, but every single thing we've seen in these forums so far has been pretty basic, not a masterpiece. That being said, standards are probably pretty low considering all humans have died off. Let's see. It is not easy to convince the messenger to take your place, but he does not want to die. You give him your scepter and suddenly feel much lighter. You know how it's going to end now. There's not enough time to go back home. Your life will end here in the city. Where do you want to spend the last minutes? I want to watch the ships take off. You sit in the harbor as the ships take off. The wind is gentle and the stars are bright. The ships have disappeared over the horizon when the final quake comes, and it's like nothing you've ever experienced before. The earth screams like a dying god, the sea rises before your eyes, and Atlantis sinks beneath the waves, and you sink with it. End. Okay. That did not get my rank up to 9 by doing that. And this mod discussion, the asset, is a 9+, so unless this other one moves me upward, I feel like I'm just one behind, because I failed to win the prisoner's dilemma. So this thread, the outer world. So let's say this is really happening. We're getting out of this world. I won't believe it till I see it. Let's say some part of us survives the trip. Where are we going? I think there's a lot to suggest that all the texts Mr. Mulcyber has been reading are actually part of an elaborate hoax. To what purpose, I don't know. But there are just too many inconsistencies and contradictions for it to be true. Someone's trying to confuse us. Belial, the outside world is within us. Yeah, that's helpful, Belial Rockwell. I don't know. I don't think contradictions mean the outside world isn't real. I can see plenty of contradictions right here. Garrett says, as long as we get out of here, I really don't care. And see, we're just back here where I can't read that. Okay. So there's talk of this thing called the asset, which, I mean, no clue. Really no clue whatsoever as far as what that might be. Let's see if we can escape this area with as many things as we might need. So put that there. And I'm gonna draw the line at fans. I seriously doubt I'm gonna need fans. So let's take this. Put that in front. Take this cube. You know what? I think it's probably a smarter move to let's just leave everything here in a nice little pile. And if we decide we need it, we'll come back and get it. because all of these islands are so isolated that it really might not do me any good at all. I wanted just to confirm this. Nope, they do still need to be blown up, I guess. I thought they stayed floating, but I guess they don't. They just stopped moving. So, if necessary, I could get 2 connectors, 2 jammers, and a cube, and 1 more connector out of this area. That being said, I'm not sure what I could do with that. Like, there might be some genius move, and I may have already done it. It might just break down to, yeah, I'll use a connector over there to connect to the blue transmitter, which is right there. But otherwise, I don't see anything on this island. So we should just move to the next island. Oh man, I just looked at how long this has been going too. Took us 50 minutes to get to this point. See, there's all these little islands, and they might just be either Easter eggs or they might be just inaccessible. We already read that one. Yeah. So, I walk here with a cube. It's not probably gonna get flung far enough over that fence. And even if it did get flung over this fence, I'm not sure that that helps anything, because all these other puzzles are then just connected and would have to be flung again. So do I want to do one that requires fans and connecting, or do I want to do the one that requires fans and connecting and playback? I think this is obviously the last one I want to do. Meanwhile, there is something. If I go back this direction and liberate a cube, I could then fly over to that and maybe fly over this direction. I'm not sure what the point of that is, though. Like, that's either an Easter egg or that's a star. So let's deal with that later. I kind of just want to get a general idea of what this next puzzle will be. Let's see. I don't see any islands over here, so I suspect there's probably not going to be any interaction with this puzzle. Wow, that barely made that edge. And that certainly made it feel like I was about to die. So this one's called Colliding Beams. Ooh, that's probably the stuff I hate more than anything. The society is a city and contains in itself the end and perfection of government, first founded that we might live, but continued that we may live happily. Aristotle Politica LZ 19, I believe. I think, like the previous area, I'm probably not gonna find any of the Easter eggs on my own. This game has managed to take enough time for that really not to be something that I'm interested in doing. Arguably, I think you could say the Easter eggs in this game are a little too hard to find, or if the game said say, told you about the Easter eggs and you had to find them all after you played the main puzzles, that might be an interesting kind of new game plus idea. But I'm not 100% sold on that. I really don't know if I'd want to find all the Easter eggs if the game just said you have to or you should. I much prefer to just cheat it. So we've got. If I had a brick out on this side. Seriously, did I just find the answer to the puzzle? I doubt it. See, jumping down there won't do anything. But this is a pretty high up location. Jumping over there won't do anything. Where is our trapped friend? Like, he's over here. I don't know. If I could get up to the top of that, I probably couldn't work my way around. Yeah, it's probably a little too difficult to do that. But all I really would need is one blue beam here, and that's close enough to free him, and then there's a star inside here. It'll probably take a little bit more work. And see, this is a button that really could only be accessed from a further direction. And this is here specifically just to annoy you. Same there. This feels like that beam puzzle, but maybe a little bit simpler, just perhaps. Yeah, so if I can just put anything there after I get the blue beam, it should be fine. Ah! We have a secret program. So I found one text adventure, and I think that's probably the only remaining text adventure. I bet they only made 2. So we'll have to deal with that later. Apparently, I can still pick up other objects. That's just like a key, something that you pick up and then permanently have. Is there no way out of this? Oh yeah, just gotta find the gate. Yep, so this looks like it's gonna be a big challenge. Unless I can figure out how to just escape with a connector. And I don't know how I can do that because I don't know if there's any boxes here. We've got real short walls. Yeah, it just says fans and connectors. And I don't even see any fans. So I question that part of the story too. Well, it's been nearly an hour. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam, or gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.